sense.
I didn't make that connection before now either.
Yeah. I feel like George R. definitely was pointing at that, right?
Maybe.
I can see it. Yeah. Just a huge X-Men fan.
Yeah.
Is the new season of Hot D supposed to come out this year?
It is.
Supposed
It
to.
is.
Gotcha.
Cobra Kai final season should come out this year.
Pretty excited
Nice.
for that.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
You hating that? No.
I am a hater.
Well, we are live, boys. So now everybody
You heard me
knows.
say I was a hater.
Yeah,
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows the truth and what we
If they
feel
didn't
about
know
Game
already.
of Thrones.
The secret's out.
But it's good to be back. It's good to be live again. Talking some Coen brothers, talking some more movies, some TV, some True Detective. You know, all the stuff.
Yes, sir.
All the goods. But I guess we should just go right into it, unless you guys want to talk some shit you've been watching first, and then we can. I don't know. You guys
Nah,
want to warm up?
I'm
or
cool to
anything?
just get into it. Well, unless
Yeah.
other people
Alright,
have stuff.
fucking into
I've
it.
just been watching anime, so.
I watched Fleabag, but I mean, and I liked
Nice.
it, but I don't really have like. We can talk about it later or something. I mean, that's really
Yeah.
the only thing I've watched besides like the stuff we've, you know.
I saw my first 2024 movie,
What was
Oh
it?
yeah.
The Beekeeper.
How was
My
it?
mom actually just like literally like 15 minutes ago texted me and she's like, "Do you like Jason Statham movies?" And I'm like, "Oh, you saw that Beekeeper movie, huh?"
Dude, what is your mom's going to see some crazy movies, man?
Dude,
Transformers,
yeah, that's like
Beekeeper?
the stuff that she likes. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Wow, dude.
My mom was actually she texted me a week ago. She was like, "So you planning on seeing The Beekeeper?" And I was like, "Did you see it before me? Seriously?" So
It's
yeah,
actually making a lot of money, like decent
it
amount.
is. Yeah.
I feel like Jason Statham's pretty big. People go to see him,
Yeah.
right? I don't
It's-
know.
Jason Statham fucking rules. So.
Yeah.
You gotta hit like a simplicity thing with Jason Statham, like
Exactly.
transporter, the beekeeper, and it's
He
gotta be
just
like
keeps bees and he takes
Yeah,
down
you gotta really
random
understand
government
it.
agencies or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go see Argyle first or Zone of Interest.
Dude, I
even though
was
that's
like-
like a last year movie.
I was looking into
technically.
Argyle today. That has like a 38%
terrible.
or something on Rotten Tomatoes.
I hear it's
like,
not good. Yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
seemed fun.
That's a
It seemed
bummer.
fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Matthew Vaughn. He has not
Yeah.
had the biggest hits as of late, but
He's had like 2 bangers, 3 bangers.
but the
Yeah.
last two,
Yeah, not great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I like his style, so hopefully he's not going too far. But yeah. Anyways, let's talk some movies, right? Talk our movie chest this week. Long time coming for me, even though it's more of a recent movie. Like right when it came out, I knew I needed to watch this movie, but just didn't get to it. One, because I kind of was scared about like what I was in for this movie. On like, is it a feel good? Is it like a super depressing movie? I was kind of
And?
like scared I was going to be depressed coming out. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sound of
I
Metal.
feel that.
That's the
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like a awards contender when it came out. It had like acting
Yeah.
awards, best picture nom, but still kind of under the radar as a movie, I feel like. I don't know. I don't think
Oh,
many
that's
people
weird.
know about this movie.
Wait, did it
know
actually
it was-
win acting awards?
I don't know if it
Or was it just
won.
nominated?
nominated.
It was
Yeah.
it was just nominated for okay.
Yeah.
Because I
I
was
think
gonna
that-
say, I mean, I liked this movie, but maybe it wasn't necessarily the acting, but some of the like dialogue for like the main character, I kind of thought was just a little meh. But like he is supposed, like it was just to get like come across that he's like,
The struggle.
well, like he used to be an addict, and he still is
Oh, yeah.
basically an addict, just to something else. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like
true.
at first, I think I just didn't really I didn't know, because you know you don't really know he's an addict until like the movie progresses. But
Yeah.
and I think this really like kind of hit me at the beginning because I'm like, oh, because I play drums and I'm just like, am I gonna fucking lose my hearing? It's like I don't know, I can't. I mean, like my hearing is still fine, but I use like ear protection, and I don't like.
I get it.
I know a lot of musicians, and like, yeah, some of them like have been losing their hearing, but like all of them use ear protection, So I mean, like, I don't know,
I don't know. We were in drumline back in high school, me and Joe, and
yeah.
no ear
Honestly,
protection
though,
back
man,
then.
which did more damage to your ears, the fucking drums or that one time that by that fire with the fucking thing with the hairspray can or whatever that blew up?
That was
Like,
actual temporary like loss of hearing. That was
yeah,
scary.
that was
That was like I understood this guy's feeling when he like first lost the the hearing, because I was just like, that sensation is not something to
yeah.
enjoy.
Honestly, that scene like where he has already lost his hearing like earlier in the day and he tries to play that show and he like runs outside. That like would be fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you're trapped in like a way, which is
yeah.
You
like
lose
so
one of your
stifling and
senses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Key
mean,
sense.
God, pain.
yeah, that's so I guess like the conflict of this movie is something I was like, I knew what it was about, and it was just like not something, because to me there's like a fine line between like a really well told like drama with like a justified character arc and then like misery porn, or like torture porn
Yeah.
almost, where it's like, yeah, let's just watch people be depressed and like have like a shitty existence. I don't know, I think this one it really brought it out of that for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I found this to be a really powerful movie. I liked the journey. Didn't take a lot of notes because honestly, this is a movie that you kind of just like have to experience and like feel, But
True. True, man. There were like moments I didn't cry, but there were moments that like choked me up in this movie for sure.
it's rough.
There
It's
was,
tough.
like-
I mean, it's hard.
It's hard, dude. As soon as he like decides to get the like operation, he goes through with the operation, and the hearing is still like fucking warbly and
It's like metallic.
awful. Dude, his like I wanted to cry for him because I was like, holy shit, dude.
That's a great scene because
Mm.
I
Riz
mean,
Ahmed, the actor, I mean, he's one of the better like younger actors right now, I'd say. But on his face, he has like clearly like the discomfort of it's not what I want, but he's like got like this almost tears
Something.
coming that he's like hearing again in that scene for the first. It's like that was a great scene. Yeah.
Very complex.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of just took that as like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know, gonna do anything it takes to get his hearing back. And they told him that
Hey,
it wouldn't
that's-
be the same.
Yeah,
And
that's
I don't
what
know. I think what broke me is just like how much he hurt that guy at the like that group that he was
Yeah,
like staying
At
with.
the house.
Yeah, I don't know, because like
Yeah.
it's basically like he used again, and like the guy
Yeah.
told him he couldn't stay there anymore, So like
Right.
I don't know.
That's what got me about it. It was like this guy was so insistent on getting his hearing back that he didn't like heed the warnings. He didn't want to accept the idea of help the whole time.
Yeah,
So I mean, for
Yeah.
me, I mean, first I watched it when it first came out, and then again this time around, and I don't know. It's upon rewatch, it's still about the same, but it kind of felt more along the line of the not necessarily torture porn, but what did you call it? Like
Like misery
depressing
porn.
misery porn. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like the second time around. Because I mean,
Mm.
you know what's happening, you know what's going to happen, what he's gonna end up, and it's just
Yeah.
as like, I mean, the journey is still there, but it just it felt more like this guy is unwilling to kind of change in order to I don't know
That's fair.
get better.
No, I
But
can imagine if someone
I
were
mean,
to, like
that's just the way people
choose
are
to
built.
rewatch.
So I mean, you can't really blame them
It's
for
hard.
like
That's like I would imagine myself doing almost the exact
Right.
same thing. Like, and that's
Yeah.
like I don't know. It'd be hard to like accept that, but
well, definitely.
I
Yeah.
I don't think it's something I could live without. But I don't know. It's I what I really love about it, and I kind of agree, is like I don't really think I want to watch this movie again, at least for a
Yeah.
very long time. I don't need
Yeah.
to. But the really like heart-filled moments are when you like learn about like the deaf community and like how they communicate, how they live together, and how they like adjust, and
Mhm.
like that. I haven't seen Coda, which is another like deaf movie that
Yeah.
is it actually won the best picture last year or the year before. Um, but I just like I was learning along with the main character in this movie, so I felt like I was like invested in like learning about this population that I didn't know about. So that
Yeah,
was
that was
that was
definitely
the
the
good
cool
part of
side
it.
of the movie. Yeah.
Heartwarming.
It just felt like the
Yeah.
character just was unwilling to, I guess, feel what we were willing to feel throughout the movie, if you
Right.
will.
Yeah, when he throws it away, especially after like you kind of see him connect to like the kids, the class, and stuff like
Right.
that. It's like, damn, dude, threw it away. But I did like, I don't know, I don't want to like cut the conversation short, but where it ended, I was like felt cathartic to me. I was like, damn.
Felt,
okay.
it was the right place for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, going to like meet up with his girlfriend again, and then kind of realizing they're at different places and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah.
That
feels
I don't
right.
know.
Like
They were together for a reason or whatever for both
Yeah.
of them, you know.
like support for each other.
And then
Yeah,
I
like
feel
s-
like I don't know that last scene when he takes off the stuff. I feel like that's when he like finally has accepted
Yeah.
that this is like his life now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It harkened back to the line that the guy said where it's like he's searching for the moments of just like pure peace and silence, you know, and like
Yeah,
Right.
that to me that felt like his first moment of that, you know, kind of like
clarity.
feeling that. Yeah. And I really liked the line when they're in France and they're in the bed. And it's basically like their breakup scene. But he's like talking about how she barely do you even remember how to speak French or whatever. And then to me that line like really encapsulated the whole journey for both of them, which is like he's like latching onto something that he doesn't even remember like what it was for reasons
Right.
that are not the real like true reasons he should be doing it. Like he's already come to accept where he is, but he's still like fighting it from the past, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of good themes in this movie. I would watch it again, but it'll be a while because it's heavy shit, heavy stuff.
Not as heavy as I thought it'd be. I think I was ready for it to be feeling worse, like on me, but I felt good after watching it. But I also thought the drumming was like some of the best acting drumming I've seen.
Wow, I was literally just gonna say that the drumming was bad.
Yeah,
But I
well,
guess,
mean,
yeah,
like
if you
every
think it's
drummer on
good, I
screen
mean-
is bad. Like I'm trying to say, like the act. If you look at like Whiplash and this you can tell Riz Ahmed like played drums for a longer amount of time. I'd say, but I don't know. That's my
Gotcha.
theory.
Whoa,
I actually
hold
just
up. Do you think
rewatched
Whiplash is
a
bad
couple weeks
drumming?
ago.
Whiplash is decent,
I
but
thought it was
Miles
pretty-
Teller's
I definitely think the Whiplash is better than this.
really.
Like,
Miles
as
Teller
far as, like,
actually played the
realistic
drums
drumming.
though.
To me, his like form looks off. Riz Ahmed looks like he's actually like comfortable
Well,
on
they're
the
two different
set.
styles of drumming too.
For sure.
I mean, it's
I mean,
jazz,
jazz and-
instead of
right.
like this is metal.
Extreme.
I think it
metal,
was
yeah.
just like he's not even playing anything like good though. He's just doing really simple stuff. I think that's like the difference for me. Like, I don't know. It's
mean,
just like
Yeah, I guess Miles Teller is more just like banging the drums when I think about him playing. And
interesting.
for Riz Ahmed, he's actually like they have a song that's written.
I would say
that
like
he's, like,
the
playing
opposite.
along with,
That's
you know?
interesting. I don't know, because like I feel like Miles Teller has like the fine-tuned like shit where
Yeah.
he's like actually doing
Yeah.
rudiments like in between stuff, and this guy is literally just banging on cymbals like for like half of the time you see him.
That's how I felt watching it too. Both times I'm like, this is music? Because it just kind of sounded bad to begin with. But hey, I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean that's not
They're
music I would
underground,
listen to,
yeah.
but
They're underground,
just like
yeah.
screeching about like getting paid or
Yeah,
something. I don't
like-
even remember like what
My
was
Yeah,
first
that's
note
pretty
is
long.
like how bad the music is, and I'm just like, this guy loses his hearing for this. Like, just stop playing. Like,
for the music,
and
baby.
then I'm like, okay,
Was it worth
I
it?
actually feel for this guy because this is like he's playing for a reason. It's not like, you know, it's not like for the love of the music. It's more like, you know, to
An escape.
Keep
he
it to
used it,
going,
yeah, basically stop doing drugs, and then you know,
Yeah.
Shots fired, dude. Shots fired.
I'm sorry.
You're a shit drummer, dude. You really fucking lost your.
I also just thought the use of subjective audio in this movie, like there's a lot of decisions you'd have to make about that type of thing, but I think they paced it pretty well and utilized it in the right times, like emotionally in the right times, and then just kind of like straight up just like the reality of the situation in times, you know? Like, but when you don't hear anything, when you do hear stuff, I thought it was
Yeah.
smartly used.
Same. I had that thought while watching it. I was like, because I was once he started hearing, like losing his hearing, I was like, how are they gonna like implement this? You know?
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be the whole time, just nothing, but they, they give you stuff. to work with.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I
I
like
was
the movie.
debating on giving it 4.5, honestly, because I think I don't know, it took me on the ride and I felt a lot.
I think I gave it 4 or 4.5. Let me check.
Yeah, I wrote down 3.5 here, but I'm pretty sure I
Yeah.
gave it a 4 on Letterboxd, or at least like I don't
Something
know.
happened in the transfer.
I want to give it a 4, so yeah. I don't know what
I had
happened.
it at I had it at a 4, but I think I'm gonna bring it down to a 3.5. Second watch through, it just felt like I was being beat over the head with.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
So-
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? I was just gonna. I was thinking though, like this is definitely one of the better, like best pictures of that year. But I don't even remember what won that year, honestly.
That was a weak year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was this
I was-
2020 or 2021?
21.
2019.
Let's see.
Was it really?
2019?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it might have been the 2020
Oh, yeah. the
awards then.
Rewards, yeah.
Because 2022 is Everything Everywhere. 21 was Coda.
Oh, it is 2019.
Right.
I mean, that's when it came out, but I don't know.
I think it qualified
for
in like different
2020.
years or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
But,
can.
2021 was Academy Awards is when it was nominated for.
so it was
Oh.
with Coda.
Yeah, I
And
believe
Coda
so.
beat it. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. So I guess the movies really do just like come out at the same times. You know, like
Yeah.
somebody reads one
That's
script
funny.
and then they're like, "Well, let's make something like that."
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long ago. That's like Sarah
Yeah.
was telling me yesterday when we were coming home from the Beekeeper. She was like, "What's that one series that we watched? It's got like 9 movies in it. It was just last year." So I named off, Mission Impossible. I'm like, Fast and Furious. I'm running out of movies that have 9 movies in them. She's like, no, it just came out last year. It's the guy with the eyes. And I'm like, yes, sir, this is really clearing it up for me. She was talking about James Bond. I was like, that was like 3 years ago. So,
Yeah. Time is a
time
flat
just
circle.
fucking, yeah.
Speaking
Good
of time is a
transition.
flat circle,
Yeah,
is
I was
that you
gonna
just talking
say
about True Detective
circles.
now? I mean,
Do you
Uh,
want to? Well,
I honestly,
Noah,
like-
are you up to date, Noah?
are you watching it? No.
No, sorry.
To
No,
be
we
quite
can
honest,
go to.
I don't even really
well-
have that much to say about it. If you
Yeah,
guys want to kind
I-
of chat about it real quick,
Oh yeah, I can do
Yeah,
that.
go
Yeah.
for it.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot to say about it either.
I have a question for you guys. How do you where do you land on them molding the whole I guess spiritual and
Dude,
like,
yeah, it's
grounded
like
stuff?
it's like full supernatural now. Like there's
Yeah.
supernatural shit, and like I don't know. I guess like
Maybe.
in between this. Well, dude, there's like 2 different characters that it happened to. Because I was thinking like it's possible that I don't remember her name. The one detective is like just crazy, or maybe they
Mhm.
are all crazy. I don't fucking know. But like the fact that there's 2 people seeing supernatural shit is like I don't know. That
Yeah.
makes it seem like there's actually crazy shit going on. But like,
Well, with the detective, she's on this episode. She was like, "Don't you ever just want to just walk out into the darkness or some shit?" And then she said that her mom said that and her sister said that too or some shit.
So,
So like it runs in her family or something. But
I don't know. And also, did you see like the orange at her feet? Did you make any kind of connection with that? I like from what I've been reading, apparently that's like an homage or some shit to like The Godfather because every time somebody has an orange, it's like an omen that they're gonna die or something like that.
maybe I don't-
I mean, I guess
be.
like that does kind of make sense. Like fucking
yeah, you're more up on
The Godfather.
than
I don't remember what his fucking name. Why can I not remember his name? Anyway, he fucking is like
Corleone?
at the fucking market. Yeah, fucking.
That's the last name,
Vito.
Vito?
Fucking what's his first name? I don't know.
I
The
don't
older
know.
one. You know,
Yeah.
the actual.
Michael's
Godfather.
the
He's
son.
he's like
right?
fucking
Yeah.
buying fruit when he gets fucking gunned down in the street. Like
Mhm.
so. Like
I didn't even
know, I
notice
guess
the
that's, like,
orange.
but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I looked like that's just I looked up a couple of articles and like read some stuff about it. And like also with like the connection to like the Tuttle organization or whatever. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen the first season, so I can't like 100% confirm this. But like people were saying that like the Tuttle Corporation was just like a local fucking construction company, like in like
Mm,
Louisiana. Is that
it
or
was,
like
like-
is that like just played down? Like
I
was
think-
it bigger than?
No, they had like people in the government, people in like
Okay,
It's
they had
pretty big
churches or
organization.
something.
gotcha.
or-
Yeah.
Because like honestly, it's been like years. I don't remember. So like I didn't
Right.
know if that was like legit or not. Because like I'm just kind of like reading gripes and shit.
That's
And,
like I
like-
don't know if the Tuttles are gonna show up. Like I don't really understand how that's a
But that-
big reference.
That's
Right.
right. I
In
don't
Alaska.
understand what they're trying to get at. Are they paying homage or are they going to tie it together? I
It's
mean,
Probably below
this,
I
this
don't
feels
know.
like its own project that they're trying to make a True Detective project. And
And I think
don't
like
know.
the fact that like there are so many connections to the first season, and the fact that they're like throwing in this supernatural shit kind of bothers me because then that means like they're in the same connected universe. Like the supernatural shit is also in the first like in that
Yeah.
world. I don't know. It's just
That's
that's
why
weird to me. Like
this episode, like this season really started strong, I thought, for me, and it's kind of like lost its luster in the next 2 episodes. But I'm just waiting because, like, to be quite honest, if it ends up being supernatural, I will be let down. If they somehow pull it out where it's like, yeah, there's a gas leak or some shit, and like
I mean, I
the
guess you're
water's been
right.
poisoned and now
But
people are
it's just
crazy.
like
But
they didn't
like,
even find the guy they've been looking for, like that they were looking for at the end of the second episode in this
Not yet.
episode, and they're still looking for him. So like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess it's just like there
What?
isn't. I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot of like detective or like thinking shit going on in this.
No,
Like,
not in this episode.
I feel like for me, I've kind of just been at like this baseline. I haven't really like gone up or down. I'm just kind of like my curiosity is like slightly peaked. I'm just like waiting to see if this will be good or if it'll just like keep being mediocre. I don't
Definitely.
know.
Fair
Yeah, no, this
assessment.
episode was also just kind of boring and like
Yeah.
what the one picture, the clue that brought them to the hairstylist was just so stupid. Like, oh, there's blue hair dye. Oh, let's go to the hairstyle. Is there only one hairstylist in fucking
Probably. But honestly, I
it
don't even
just felt
remember any detecting work in that. Like I straight up
that
don't
was it.
remember like
Yeah. They did
plot
a classic good cop,
things.
bad cop situation, and that
Yeah.
was like kind of really it.
Yeah. I just remember them trying to evoke the Rust and Marty like sitting in a car shots, like literally for
Yes.
verbatim shots, and I was like,
Yes. Even they mentioned something about like not dreaming or something like that, or they brought up
yeah,
religion, and I'm like,
they
okay, are
were
we just
really
rehashing the
reaching.
whole
Yeah,
first season?
they were like wistfully reaching into the darkness and just like
Yeah.
random dialogues. And I was just like,
Mm.
this feels a little like on the nose for me.
Dude,
But
Yeah.
when fuck, I can't remember her name. Why can I not remember the one fucking actress that I should know her name?
Jodie
Jodie
Foster.
Foster?
Yeah, like when she fucking threw her coffee in the other dude's face, I'm just like, God damn! Like, was that necessary? Like,
She's a savage, man.
and I don't
Fucking
understand like
savage.
her. I'm sure it'll be revealed, but like I don't understand why her character like is so against her daughter like doing anything native related. I don't know what her deal is. I'm assuming
knows?
they're like just like building it up to be like, oh, she's got a fucking problem with this, and we'll reveal it later. But like,
Yeah. How are they gonna end that story with like a hug? I don't know.
Like it
Sounds like it's a bit traumatic right now, and I don't think a hug's gonna fix it.
Dark. Maybe the sun's
I mean,
gonna
you
rise
saw
at
the
the end of
water
the
that
show.
came out of that sink. Like it's
Right?
fucking bad. Like
It was nasty. The end of this show will be a sunrise. Like people looking
man, shut the fuck
with
up,
us.
dude. And the elk will be coming back.
Yeah, the elk never died. It's that supernatural.
They're flying through the air with a sleigh behind them. It's Santa Claus. Ho ho ho.
Like, wait a minute, it's Christmas.
I don't know. That's about all I have to say about it.
Same
I
here,
did
yeah.
think it was funny how like there was just randomly people like fighting, like hardcore fighting in the hospital. Like what the fuck? Like that was so weird to me. I thought like like
They
one of the
kind of-
cops like literally had to leave the fucking hospital room to go take care of some shit because the security can't. Like
Yeah.
it was weird. I don't know.
There's a lot of little elements
Like,
in the story that
But
they're
the
trying
only
to
reason
do,
they
and
did
it's
that
just-
was so they could have like the other detective alone, so she
Yeah.
could see the stuff. Like I don't know.
Yeah, so he can come up, raise out of bed like a possessed, whatever the fuck, and
talk
point.
about your
and-
mama or something.
Yeah.
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 I mean, to me, that has to be in her head. Because if it's not, then you should. This isn't a true detective show. But it's. I'm not mad at
Yeah.
it. I'm just kind of like wondering what they're doing.
Yeah.
But, anyways, moving on. We'll talk about it next week. when
Was
we
it
maybe learn
though?
a little bit more.
I mean, yeah, it'll probably just be in her head, but still, like the fact that two people, I don't know.
That chick's
Yeah.
smoking
They're gonna have to
reefer
explain
in
both
her
of them, all right?
cabin. She's
The
related to
wolf
Rust.
twitch, dude.
Yeah. Rust is seeing shit. He's seeing the psychosphere. It's got to come from his mom, right?
Yeah.
Or is that his mom? Or is it his
I don't know.
stepmom?
So, like, how would you guys feel if Russ did show up?
That'd be a bad moment.
Too much?
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Way too much. I mean, they're really doing it now with like trying to just, shot for shot remake the first season to try to really get your heartstrings going.
It makes me
So-
wonder about the 6-episode runtime though, too, because to me, every time I see a lower
Oh, there's only
episode
6
runtime,
episodes?
Yeah,
I'm just
we're
like,
at
man,
that.
they
Oh,
knew
shit.
what they're doing. I was like, they just fucking tight. I thought that about the last season of Game of Thrones. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
cut it down, put the budget where you want in like cool sequences, plot it right, pace it right. And it's really that they don't have enough material every time. It's like they just don't have enough to like make it
Yeah.
to 8. So they're like 6. Like that's what it feels like.
That is like kind of crazy to me because like, well, I don't know. What year did the first True Detective season come out? 2014 or something like that?
I think so.
I think it was.
Actually. 13 or 14. That sounds about right. Man.
So then, like, probably what, like, I guess 14, 15 years before that, The Sopranos came out. And, like, so are there 8 episodes in the first season?
Of
Or
True
are there
Detective?
6? Yeah.
There's 8 for each season, I believe.
So I guess, like, I don't know, just like the natural progression. Because The Sopranos has 13 episode seasons. And, like, yeah, those do kind of run on. To be honest, when I got to episode 10, I'm like, this is too much. I think this season needs to be over. But, like, I don't know. It's just crazy that, like, I mean, they cut half the episodes of a season. Like, I'm not, like, saying, like, it's 1-to-1, like, with your
No, I
budget.
get
But,
you.
like, that is, like, just kind of wild.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'd think, like, you'd be able to manage, like, the plot a little better. But I don't know. I think there's, like, an argument now to go back to, like, longer form seasons where you have to, like, really dig into the characters a little more and, like, spend time with them doing, like, in Sopranos, just literally doing mundane shit, like.
Yeah. Just
But
developing.
And 10 episodes is fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I-
eight's
I
good
feel like-
usually, honestly.
Yeah, 8
but
to 10, I think, is, like,
Yeah.
it just depends on
like
what
a
you
sweet
got. If
spot.
you got it enough, like.
mhm.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know. Maybe
Detective.
it's more prudent to just be like, well, if we know we're gonna do only like 6 episodes as the last season, why not just make a longer last season? Instead of like breaking up the pacing and trying to like mash it all into like short form at the end. Be like, yeah, we'll do a 16 or 18 episode final season and
Yeah.
call it quits. I don't know.
That's what Breaking Bad did, right? They split their season and they split their final season in half.
I think that is
Last
what The
season
Sopranos
was-
did, too.
yeah.
Really?
And Better Call Saul did that, too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually,
All the
I found
greats.
out. I didn't know this. You guys probably do. I didn't know that. And I'm terrible with names tonight. But fucking wait, who is Saul? The fucking guy, the actor.
Bob
Why can't
Odenkirk?
yeah, fucking Bob Odenkirk. Didn't I heard that he had a fucking heart attack like on set,
Yeah.
like at
The-
filming the fucking episode where Lalo
When-
just shows up,
Yeah.
and that's when they
died.
do the break. That's fucking crazy. Because like, if he wasn't on set there, like, the odds of him dying were like probably way fucking higher. Because he probably had like instant attention.
They said
'cause
that
he
they
was
had one of
surrounded
those
by a bunch
little
of
like
people.
medical little defib things that apparently you can buy now, and they said that if they didn't have that, he would have been dead. Like that's what they said.
Damn.
Like
That's fucking
That's
crazy.
crazy, yeah.
Just like picture like getting to there and Better Call Saul and just like not having
you
any
can't
more.
have the last 6
Holy
episodes. Like that
fuck.
is
That would have
insane
been
to
so
think, yeah.
fucking like crazy.
I would have
Holy
hoped they would have
fuck,
like
dude.
released scripts or something or done
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But that's
Jesus.
tough.
That would
That's
have
a
been-
tough one.
Yeah, that would have been tragic.
Yeah, especially for Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
No, definitely. Yeah.
I
That's
guess
a
we're
heartbreaker.
pretty
Yeah.
derailed off of True Detective right now. But let's just
We're
let's
talking
just
a little
wrap up
TV.
and we'll go to the next.
Yeah, let's move on back to movies. Transition over to some director's dive. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Got two movies tonight. Tonight.
Hudsucker Proxy first.
Hudsucker Proxy, and then arguably the most well-known Coen Brothers movie, Fargo.
If not, yeah. If not the most well known, the one that got them on the map, I would say, or like the
Yeah.
one where you're like the Coens are like Fargo,
I think
Yeah,
it
I
like
can
made
see
their
that.
name in a way. Yeah, for sure. Right.
What was the
So-
first Coens movie that you guys saw, by the way?
I have to look at him.
I want to say it might be like No Country.
No Country
But
was
there-
mine as well. Yeah.
It might have been like a random one I saw before that.
Honestly, it might be either like The Big Lebowski or Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Like I just
Mhm.
randomly saw on TV or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine might be Big Lebowski. I don't think I saw Fargo before that.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Fargo
No
before.
Country
This
might
was my first time
Alright.
actually.
Yeah, No Country. I remember my mom rented it from the Red Box, and she was like, "Watch this. Let me know what you think." And so, yeah, that was my Coens introduction.
It's a good
Nice.
one. It's a good one to start on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I feel like this. Well, I guess I don't know. We got to do Hudsucker Proxy and Fargo, but Fargo for sure. I feel like is people's like most definitive Coen like
No,
for a
definitely.
generation for sure. It is.
Yeah,
But you guys want to like talk a little Hudsucker Proxy before we get into the juiciness of
Yeah.
Fargo?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't have a lot to say, but I did find that because like 20 minutes in, I'm like, wow, this is basically Mr. Deeds. So then I like researched, and like apparently Mr. Deeds and this movie are based on another movie from the 30s called Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. And of the three movies, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town has the highest ratings. I didn't
Classic.
watch it, but like I thought it was like kind of interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
this one deviates because like obviously there are like main themes of like the Protestant work ethic and like the capitalist industrial
Yeah.
complex and shit like that, and like you know how like fucking the
The
I don't know,
cyclical-
capitalist aristocracy will not go anywhere because they just have unlimited amounts of money and they just
Joe,
put
is this a
figureheads in.
thesis? Jesus.
I'm just saying.
fuck, man.
Look, I don't know. I'm just
That's
saying.
good.
Like,
No, that's
this is-
good.
well, that's what separates it from Mr. Deeds. Otherwise,
That's what
it'd be
makes
the
it a
same
little more
movie. Like
dimensional. Yeah. No, I get that. I've not seen the original Mr. Deeds. I have seen the Adam Sandler one.
Yeah, I haven't seen
unfortunately,
the original.
but- yeah.
Honestly, I think I liked Mr. Deeds, the Adam Sandler one, about the same as I liked this movie. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
fair, it's fair.
I have a soft spot for the Mr. Deeds Adam
I do
Sandler
too,
movie.
yeah.
That was one of my early DVD movies.
Mm.
But I liked this one. I did not expect
too.
myself to like this movie as much as I did. I thought it was
Yeah, this one grew on me as like
Yeah, it was pretty zany.
it's
I
very
didn't like
it's
his-
very
yeah.
comedic and zany and out
Yeah.
there, and if like I'm just like picturing Coen's catalog, and this one is like so different than like most everything else they've done. You know,
Definitely.
like,
It felt more what is it? Like zany, but also it was like super like it looked cool. It was cool to watch for that time.
Yeah.
You know, it was like
colors.
yeah. And like
Or like the
even the
first,
writing
like one of the
was
first scenes when he's on the street and all the things are like flipping
Yeah.
around or whatever for the
Mhm.
job postings and stuff.
Yeah,
Kind of need to watch.
yeah.
it was just fun, and like the writing was good. I mean, it was pretty tight. I mean, he shows you the circle, and as soon as he says the kids will love it, you know exactly what he's talking about. Like everyone else is
I
like,
didn't.
okay.
I didn't
Oh, really?
either.
No,
The first
I
thing
thought it was like
thought
a
of
joke
like,
at
oh,
first.
It's a hula hoop. So
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a who. I
You know,
pictured
for the
like
kids.
the
I like how it's just
Yeah.
always a circle though. Like I don't know, it is like
Yeah,
three different
exactly.
things throughout the movie.
yeah.
Uh,
I pictured like that old circle. I don't know what, like in the 1800s maybe, where the kids have
You
like
got,
a
like,
stick.
yeah, you
And
got
just like
like,
yeah, I was like, is that okay?
what year are we in?
Yeah.
Uh,
To that point though, yeah, the writing. I love Jennifer Jason Leigh's character. She's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite characters. So
Definitely one of her best performances too. I
oh
thought.
yeah.
Yeah, her deliveries. That like
Mhm.
I don't know that like. See, I'm gonna, you
Mhm.
know, I don't know that
Quick
rapid fire-
talking, super
Yeah,
smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
And
that.
like when she would get stuck, like he would interrupt her during like a sentence, she would go back to where she was and just pick
Yeah,
it back
just
up.
like pick
so,
up the performance again.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What this is one of, if not the only, I think maybe that's not just the two Coen brothers who wrote this, because this is actually written by Sam Raimi too.
Yeah.
I know we
Yeah,
talked about it
yeah,
last week,
yeah,
but
saw
I-
that.
You
is
could
this?
sort of feel that, to be honest.
I
At
didn't
least
really
I
feel
could.
much of it, I guess, but like, what do you
Have
you
think?
Have you
How'd you
seen
feel
The
it?
Quick and the Dead?
I have not.
No.
It kind of had like that same like vibe to it, like I guess the whole vibe to the movie where it was like the camera work was super, like when he's running down the hall and it's like close up on the feet and it was like super fast and quick pace, and that's how The Quick and the Dead kind of felt, but it was set in
Okay.
a Western time, so it was super zany,
Hmm.
kind of like supposed to be comedic, but it didn't land well, and that's kind of how this movie kind of felt, where this obviously it was supposed to be comedic and not taken completely seriously, and obviously it didn't land well with audiences. But I just felt like
I
the
get
Sam
you.
Raimi like fingers were in it, where it was just kind of like that over the top stuff was happening for sure.
That's true. I mean, there is a reason why this one feels so different, I would assume.
Yeah,
and
like
and
the
like
teeth in the cogs and the all that shit. You know,
the
jumping out the window
fucking
and falling
Newton's
down.
cradle just like stopping. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
yeah, that shit is
that
great.
kind of stuff is where I was like, okay, I think this is Sam Raimi's,
Hmm.
you know, kind of little touch, but I could be wrong.
Cool.
I wonder,
Yeah.
like, because to me it seems like they were just like friends hanging out, and they like wrote it together or something, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously there's probably Raimi in there, but a lot of like the Coens still shine through for me. The dialogue, obviously, but like The angel at the end. I mean, that to me is
That was
like Buster
Buster
Scruggs. Oh,
Scruggs.
it's like, dude,
Yeah,
you can just
yeah.
see all their like homages now, which is cool. But
Yeah.
so they got it in them. They got that zany weirdness in them somewhere, right? But
Yeah, I think maybe what I'm seeing is like the physical comedy aspect of things, because I mean Sam Raimi does that in pretty much all his movies, so maybe that's what it felt like
that's
was
true.
his main touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
could see. I'm wondering how much of like Raimi influenced even like, up to Buster Scruggs. Like if like this was the reason they were like maybe they found their form a little bit more in like Fargo and Big Lebowski and stuff like that. Or so
For
they had like
sure.
a little help and are like,
Yeah, that's
like this dry
possible.
comedic tone, kind of this zany tone a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
before this
'Cause-
was Miller's and Barton Fink, right? And those are pretty
yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
cut
dry.
and dry. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
There's some moments,
Did-
but
yeah.
Did you guys find out well, I don't know. Did they say anything about Sam Raimi being attached to that new like Coen Brothers
No,
horror movie project?
it doesn't
I
say.
think so.
I
Gotcha.
hope so.
That's
I
cool
feel
though.
like I don't the
Yeah.
fact that they've like done this and have they done anything else together before or not?
I mean, Sam Raimi made a cameo in what was it, Miller's Crossing,
Yeah.
as one of the
Yeah,
cops. So.
like I feel like
Campbell's
I don't
They're just
know.
buds or something.
I feel like
hanging
it
out,
would
yeah.
just be like perfect, like a perfect combo.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that they're friends. That makes me kind of happy. So
That is cool. If that's the case, yeah.
If they
Yeah.
find a way to get Raimi involved and maybe like a little Bruce Campbell cameo,
I mean,
I'd
you
be pretty
got it,
happy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't really shine in Hudsucker as much as I wanted to.
No, he's
Bruce
kinda
Campbell.
I don't know if
I don't know.
underutilized,
He was
but
there.
He was
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And you kind of,
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, where does he just like disappear and you don't see him again? You know, like,
Just like
yeah,
takes
he was just
over.
there
I thought he
to.
was
his
at the
face.
newspaper.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
a newspaper editor.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
he never leaves there.
No,
That's the only time to see him.
Yeah,
Pretty
that
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thought
but-
the intro,
But he was there.
he was there.
Sorry.
Yeah. The intro with the narrator too. I mean, that was like straight out of like Big Lebowski is like clearly like another attempt at that narrator.
Definitely.
Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
he's like saucily like watching from the outside, just like the other. That's like crazy. But
Yeah.
I like the narrator in this one too. He's pretty fun.
His interaction with Jennifer Jason Leigh was pretty fun too. It's like the
Yeah.
clock keeper or whatever.
Yeah, he's
I'm
the guy at the
happy.
end that stops the time for him. You know,
Yeah, that was
I don't
pretty good.
normally do this.
Yeah.
what would you have done? Yeah.
It's like him and that. I don't know. Is it the janitor? The bald
Yeah,
dude
he like
kind of like
gets in a fight
battling
with the janitor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to like throw him over the side of the thing.
Yeah, I dug that. It's good. Funny
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, the script I thought was pretty tight on this one too. Like
Yeah.
immediately,
yeah.
it's like kicks off. I thought what really opened up to like the tone for me was when the dude just jumps out the window, obviously, and he's like telling people to like
The
get out of the way.
wind-up.
The wind up,
was
yeah. Like,
incredible.
fucking, like,
Yeah.
and then right after that scene, they literally are sitting at the table still, like just moving on with the company, and there's like wind blowing in on the guy's head, and like just the tone of that scene, I thought really did a lot.
Yeah,
The
dude
one
tries to
scene
jump.
that actually made me like laugh out loud was when what's his nuts was hanging out the window and he's like thinking about the double stitch and it goes back in time to it. The guy-
I'll give him it anyway. He's a nice
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, that's fun.
Forget what guy was, but
Also
I
f-
liked his character, Musburger. I don't know. I don't know who he was.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him before, but good on him. I
I
like
think it's Paul Newman.
Yeah, you've never heard of Paul Newman?
He's an older, you know, he's
No.
got the prestige behind
Butch
him. but
Cassidy?
Yeah, never seen it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
He's Doc from fucking Cars. Come
Oh,
on, guys.
Okay. I know cars.
Okay.
Well, he had planes because.
I only watch planes.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Fuck planes.
Get out of here, man. I also felt like a little bit of like lynchiness here, like silent film homage, kind of like. I mean, one in the character's look, he's like got the hair that's like very eraser heavy,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but just like cartoony and expressive, and especially in the first half where he's like getting
mailroom
the
and
papers,
stuff,
like
and-
like
yeah.
if you don't do that, then you're what does he say? You're canned or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah.
You're gone.
yeah.
But
They cut your pay. They
Yeah,
got your
Yeah, they
pay.
got your
they
pay,
dock
yeah,
ya.
whatever.
They dock
They
ya.
dock
Yeah.
ya.
But it was like I don't know if they were intentionally trying to go for a lot of the Lynch stuff, but I felt some of it, or maybe silent
Thank
film
God
more.
they
But
didn't go full Lynch because that just would have been bad. So
yeah,
None of those
lucky
zany
for us.
moments would have actually hit. We've been like,
a bit too
What
dark.
is this movie?
That's another thing I really appreciate about the Coens. They don't mind letting you just sit in what they're showing you. Like when the guy's walking down the hall, you watch him walk down the entire fucking hall. Same with like the past 3 movies or 4 movies we've watched. If there's somebody screaming in the background, you just sit there and listen to him scream for like 30 seconds to a minute,
Mhm.
and like you just gotta sit there and take it.
That is
And I
definitely
kinda
like their thing.
yeah.
Letting
So
things run on for longer than
yeah.
you
Yeah.
want them to.
I think it's like it becomes interesting again after a certain amount of time. You know, it's like
Yeah.
if you like linger a certain amount
Sometimes.
of time. Yeah, sometimes. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think like other directors or writers or even editors would be like, "This is enough. We don't need like what is this
Fair
for?"
enough.
But I
It's
mean,
like,
that is
no.
like their style. Like it's,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
part of what,
definitely.
yeah.
definitely made
What
their
makes
name.
you so like enraptured in it? I'd say lets you like you have to sit
Yeah.
there and be.
They're good enough writers where it's like, yeah, it keeps you interested. So they know what they're doing.
I thought what kept me interested in Hudsucker too is like the fun idea that this character maybe is smart. You know, like he's probably not,
Right.
but like he has these moments like with the circle or whatever, and or like when he's talking about antelopes in a past life or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this? Like this guy know what he's talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But
Philosophical.
yeah, by the end of it, I think he's
I don't
kind of
know.
just what he is, right?
I think it's just like kind of because like I felt almost like relatable to this character when he's like looking for a job and he's got like no experience and they're like, yeah, let's fucking hire this dude because we can just fuck him over. But like, I don't like. I'm just like, ah, shit, like this could be me. But then, like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like he clearly is kind of a dumbass. Like, and you kind of realize that, like, yeah, he doesn't have any experience and he is kind of, I don't know. I guess he
Yeah.
like
But he's willing
has
to
one
work.
good idea
Yeah.
and then kind of
Wanna
fucks
work.
over the elevator guy. But you know,
That elevator, buddy.
That guy was fucking annoying anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
a
he
lot.
was.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think I'm tempted to give this one 4.5. I think I might land on a 4, but because really the only like gripe I have with it is the transition from like innocence to maliciousness from the main character. Like for the first half, he's like he's dumb as fuck, doesn't know what's going on. He just draws a circle.
Yeah.
But
Then the
he's
second
gotta
half,
keep the power, Matt.
well, that's like the
He's
second
gotta
half. He's
keep
got
the
like
power.
he's got a
Listen,
different
dog.
agenda immediately, and it's like
Yeah.
I just didn't see any of the
He
transition.
got a taste. Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
you're
it.
right.
I mean, it
You-
kind of
there
works.
was, yeah.
Because the character's so simple, like that he could just be that simple, and he changes that easily or whatever. I don't know. I just didn't
And
feel
I think
the
there was
fullness
like
of
a
it.
lot of passage of time that was kind of brushed over in
Right.
between those two sections
Right.
too.
It definitely,
Good point.
yeah. I felt that like when he hires Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, like that was kind of just tossed in there. At least it felt like it. Maybe I missed something, but it was like she was just kind of lingering around the office. I thought they were just hanging out, but he
Then she's
hired
suddenly
her.
working, and now he's
Yeah.
like kind of a dick, and yeah.
Yeah, there was something definitely in the middle that kind of felt a little muddy and messy for me. So
Mhm.
that was also one of my main gripes was I felt like I was missing something. I was a little lost when the transition went from simple innocent man to instant corruption by power, greed, and
Yeah.
wanting to stay on top. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
For
true.
sure.
I
from
think
a
it was
guy
just
who
extreme.
just wants to make a toy for kids.
Mhm.
And he's like worried about how cheap he can make it and like affordable and
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know.
Honestly-
I think it was probably like the zaniness of why, like, because all the extra shit that they threw in, they probably just didn't have enough time, or they thought they didn't have enough time to like flesh out that descent. I don't know, or maybe they thought it was like inherently obvious with what they were doing. But like, I
it's,
do agree that like they needed more of a transition between the two because it's like he flips a
Yeah.
switch and he's like instantly corrupted.
right.
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
would've
be on his side or
expected,
like at
like-
least understand it more.
Yeah, I would have expected maybe like Musburger like get cozying up to him, trying to like, I don't know, something like that.
Something.
where it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than just being
Yeah.
like, oh, this is what capitalism does to you.
It is very satirical though,
ruined.
this one. So like in its simplicity is where I find its like strength, I guess, where it's like, oh, it's just trying to tell you that once you get into that position of power, you're gonna be like corrupt and you know, you change.
Kind of
you're
what I took
different.
from it. I was like, oh, it's just the system that did it.
It's definitely the movie has something to say, but like you said, it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward with what it's saying. So it's not like
Yeah.
super heady. You just kind of you get what you get.
I saw that this was the only PG Coen Brothers movie too, and I didn't even really realize it watching it. But it is very like,
Oh,
a kid could
Yeah.
watch that movie, and
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything really bad in it, right? But
just besides the guy jumping out the window.
Yeah.
yeah, the guy just
Yeah.
committing suicide immediately.
Yeah.
Probably nowadays, that probably would get a higher rating.
Yeah.
Probably. At least
Or
PG
maybe
13.
can they do that? I don't know. Like that's I guess like one of the other things I kind of forgot. The latest season of Rick and Morty came out on HBO or whatever. So I watched the newest season. I hadn't been keeping up. And there's an episode where people just like commit suicide and their insides turn into spaghetti or something like that. And I'm just like, how the fuck can you show this on TV? Like,
Animation, adult animation.
Because it's Rick and Morty.
yeah.
No, I saw.
There was a
what's-
warning at the beginning, at least. Like,
Oh.
I didn't know it was PG. That's news to me. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
even
is
look
kinda-
into that.
that is interesting.
Probably there's probably.
And went straight to R for this next one.
Hard R, hard
the
R.
wood chippers and
Yeah. I
I
gave
just,
Hudsucker Proxy a 3.5. And if anybody was wondering, the average, or at least on Letterboxd is what I checked, the average for Mr. Deed Goes to Town was 3.8. This had a 3.7, and the Mr. Deeds had a 2.7.
That's a low drop. 3.7
also,
though. That's that's
I wrote down
that's-
another
yeah.
note that I just like. This isn't really relevant to Hudsucker Proxy. It was just on here because I wanted to talk about it. I don't know, like the Oscar nominations are out and shit, and like Oppenheimer's like up for like fucking everything, and people are on the fucking Christopher Nolan train right now because of Oppenheimer for some reason. And like from people I've talked to, it seems like Barbie probably boosted Oppenheimer. In like I don't think if they didn't come out on the same weekend, I don't think this movie would have done as well. I don't think people would have gone to see it. I don't like it's not that good. But anyway, have you guys seen that Tenet is coming back to theaters in February, like this month?
Really?
And it's just because of the fucking Christopher Nolan. People are on the fucking
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan train. Like,
Yeah.
and that movie was bad. Okay, I didn't see it, so I guess I can't justifiably say that it was bad. But I've
Was it
heard
bad?
that it's not good. Like,
It's
I don't
good.
know.
I'm
Not
debating
that
if it's
great.
better than Oppenheimer
You think
at the
it's good?
moment.
Interesting.
it a lot.
Seriously? All right. Well, it's been on my list. Maybe I should just.
But
watch
that's
it, I
because
guess.
I'm thinking Oppenheimer is.
I
like,
don't.
the
Maybe
worst
like
movie,
did
but-
it do bad in theaters or something? Why do I
It
feel
came out
like I
it was-
during
heard?
COVID.
Yeah, it was
So-
pandemic. I mean, it did pretty
Okay.
good through its scattered release, I think. But
Gotcha.
That was like it was.
Does
just,
it
I
have
don't
like
know.
bad reviews or something?
not great.
Gotcha. Okay, but
Audience
all of you
people
guys,
didn't like it.
all of you guys
Yeah.
like it. But audience people.
I didn't like. I mean, I don't think it's very good.
I
But
don't know.
what I'm
I guess it's just
toying
like,
with is
I mean,
where it is with Oppenheimer.
we are on the same page though. Like Tenet coming back to theaters is just because of the people. I mean, we
think
get
so,
we all get that, right?
Where there's
Or
money
am
to
I
be
just-
made.
Yeah, that's it, right? I don't
Mm.
know.
Well, when Avatar 2 came out, they were like, "All right, release the first one, release Titanic."
Titanic comes out like
Yeah,
every 4 years or
Let's
some
boost
shit.
these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's win some more awards for these.
Christopher Nolan needs another fat mill out of the fucking theatrical budget that he get. I don't know, but he made so much money with Oppenheimer because he has like a
imagine.
deal that like he gets first ticket sales or like a first percentage.
Shit.
So just think of like a 10 to 15% of like
He hit
the
big
mi-
on that
the
one.
hundreds of
Barbie
millions that
tickets
he
and like all this
made.
No, you're right.
Crazy.
I made raked it in off Barbie's opening stuff too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I will say I agree that like people are on this Christopher Nolan train, and I don't really like. I liked Oppenheimer. It's not his best.
Okay,
I
now
like
the
Tenet
narrative's
better.
completely changing now from what it was 1 month ago.
Well,
Everybody is on the now. It's like, oh well, Oppenheimer's not that good, like.
I'm still on the
Look,
Oppenheimer train.
I
and
like
hope
Yeah.
it wins.
Oppenheimer.
I
I just
like
know
it.
that it's not as good as his other movies. Like I
Yeah.
like
It's better
it.
than his other movies.
I don't
It's
think
better
I'd
than his other
like-
movies. What do you
I don't-
like? Do you like The Dark Knight? Huh? Is that your favorite movie?
It's a good movie.
I
It's a
didn't like
good
it.
movie.
It's
I
not
guess
so
all I'm
fucking
saying
boring.
is like I
Interstellar
didn't
as
have to
much,
like
and-
Oppenheimer was not thought provoking at all. Like a lot of his other movies are. I get like that's
Yeah.
what I don't know. I feel like that's what he's known for. I don't know. Maybe
That's
I'm
true.
wrong. Except for
Right.
like The Dark Knight is not included in that. Like that's just something separate. But like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The Prestige.
Yeah, I like
Memento.
Are we gonna have to do Nolan
Interstellar,
next? Is that the move? So we
Tenet,
can
Inception.
We might have to.
maybe
I
maybe
mean,
just to set the
I
record
really don't want to
straight.
watch Oppenheimer again.
I don't think I want to watch any of them.
I kind
Just
of
watch
do.
them.
They're
Yeah.
good, but like I feel like I have to be in like a right mindset to watch any of those movies. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
You gotta be thinking a
I want
little
to
bit.
watch Oppenheimer's just to see if it hit as hard as it did for me the first time. Because I liked it. And maybe I'm just a sucker for like biopics, but I don't know.
It's good.
When they're done well, I like
Yeah.
them. But
Well, let's just move on to Fargo. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
mean to
no,
get
it's
us
fine.
derailed. I just thought you guys would be
Christopher
interested
Nolan
to know
just-
that.
just
Like,
black
I don't
hole
know.
yeah.
it.
Well,
Sucked
I
into
think
it.
also though Barbie, it's up for a decent amount of awards, and apparently like I don't know. Do you think like it
Definitely
would be
not as
nominated?
many. From what I looked, it
No,
was
not
only
as many.
like Barbie was only like maybe 3.
Yeah, Margot Robbie didn't get
Oppenheimer's,
nominated,
Like 8 or 9. Like
That's
that-
crazy to me that Ryan Gosling did and Margot Robbie did it.
and America
Yeah.
Ferrera did.
America
I mean-
Ferrera
Yeah.
did is such a joke.
That is
That's
insane. Yeah.
like for the one scene, that's fine.
Yeah,
but like
It's such a joke.
That's the Academy.
Yeah, I don't know. Both those movies. What I'm trying to say is both those movies benefited. I'd say Barbie would have been
Yeah.
explosive. I don't think it would have been maybe as explosive. Maybe Oppenheimer
I don't
definitely
think it
got
would.
legs up, but I think Barbie got like a prestige lift with Oppenheimer.
yeah.
It's like a weird like.
time. I think like
Barbie helped Oppenheimer more. You know. than
Oh,
the
yeah.
I
other,
do
for
too.
sure.
Well, maybe I don't know. I think they boosted each other. I think Barbie
Mm.
probably boosted Oppenheimer in the awards way, and then like Oppenheimer boosted Barbie in like making money because Barbie made more money than Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
You don't think?
I think it's the
Yeah,
reverse of
no,
that, but
Hmm.
like I think
I mean, I
Oppenheimer
do
wouldn't have
think
made
that
as much
Oppenheimer
money.
wouldn't have made as much money. I think they both probably wouldn't have made as much money if But like,
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah,
For
would
sure.
Barbie even have made it into nominations? That's a good question. Because it
it's
definitely deserves more.
best picture. I think
Is it best-
for
yeah.
maybe like
Yeah,
comedy or
best
something.
screenplay, best original screenplay or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which I mean, I think it deserves a lot of awards.
All right,
And
so
I
Fargo.
think Billie Eilish's song deserves to win the best song.
Yeah, I did like
But,
that. That was the song.
Yeah, that's a good
I
song.
like that song. Yeah.
Anyways, Fargo, yeah, the second of the
You
Coens
betcha.
to discuss. You
Yeah,
betcha.
so like after watching this, I guess I was just curious, like, so the show, like, what's that about?
You haven't seen
Did
any
you,
of the
did
show?
you catch? Have you
I
caught
haven't
any
seen
of the
any of the
Easter
show.
eggs? Were you like paying attention to see like where they were polling to tie into each season?
I've yeah, oh yeah, you feel it. Have you watched
Yeah.
the 5th season, Alex?
I have not yet, no,
Okay.
but I saw the first episode. But like that whole caper stealing, like kidnapping the wife, that's the first episode.
I was like, oh, they brought this in for the 5th. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
And then the money buried, that's season 2, but also the cabin is also season 2,
Yeah.
and
In season,
season 1 out on the
he
ice
finds the money
yeah.
that he buries.
Oh, it's season 1. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was season 2, but yeah, it's the store guy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He just like has like a moment of like God where he finds this thing of money
Yeah.
in the side of the road, and it's what this Steve Buscemi's character leaves. I mean,
yeah.
it's cool. I would check out the show. The show is fantastic. One of the best
Okay.
shows on like if you're talking like Better Call Saul,
Yeah, no, it's
these
like
level of
next
prestige,
on my
Fargo's
list.
like
Because I
Fargo-
found out that Mad Men's only on AMC Plus, so and I'm not gonna
Mhm.
fucking do that because I refuse. And
Yeah.
so now I'm just going to Fargo.
there you go.
You should. Season 1 and 2 are like next level.
Great.
Season 2 is fantastic. I love season 2 of Fargo. But
I'm
yeah,
rewatching
anyway,
that with
the
Emily
movie.
actually. Yeah, the 5th season though, I just want to say the 5th season, I check it out too, Alex. It starts very slow and kind of like bare bones, and then by the end of it, I loved it. Like the last 3 episodes like elevated that whole season for me. So
I know I've been meaning to get around to it. I just Sarah's home, so we kind of just watch what she also wants to watch. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Emily like hopped on board that season like halfway.
Okay.
She was like she saw Juno Temple and knew her from Ted Lasso, and then like started to
Yep.
get into it.
That's kind of how Ozark was with Sarah and me. She was like halfway through season 2. She's like, this is actually pretty okay. But anyway, yeah.
Well, the movie, this is where it all starts. Everything in the show is emulating the movie or like just paying straight tribute, or it owes everything to the movie,
Yeah.
obviously. So yeah, iconic Coen, 96, got Frances McDormand as the lead. I think when you think of Fargo, do you think Frances McDormand or do you think wood chipper? What's the thought?
That's
Francis
tough.
McDormand was mine for at least like
Probably Francis
before watching it.
McDormand
I was like,
at this point.
yeah.
See the sheriff
Yeah.
hat, you
I've
know.
only seen
Like,
it once.
I see the
Police.
pregnant top.
this is your first time watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe?
Mhm.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. What'd
Yeah,
you think of it then? As like a first, because I think we've all seen it, right?
I mean, I thought it was fine. I think that guy. I think like he totally got his part on Shameless because of this. Because I mean, he plays a good piece of shit. So like, you know,
Which guy?
I
Wait,
don't know the
Jerry?
one. Yeah,
Oh,
Jerry.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was okay.
Wow.
I
Just
know.
okay,
I
huh?
don't like. I think it's just like I'm just not. I don't know. Like the Coen brothers don't hit me like they hit you guys. I don't know what it
This
is.
is
Like it's just fine. Like
Yeah,
I don't
fair.
know.
Fair, man.
this movie, I mean, I've seen it a few times, but like this watch through specifically, maybe it was just because I was having fun like connecting it to the series now. Now that I'm coming back to it after watching seasons 1, 2, and 3. But like even the guy gets his duck on a stamp, and like in the third season, the stamps. I mean, it's like I don't know if that was the intention, but I was
It's
like,
gotta be.
nice, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this is like super. I have no complaints. Essentially, is what I'm getting at. Like this is kind of like the tightest of their scripts so far out of all of the ones I've, up until this point. Obviously, there's better movies than this one that they've made, but like to this point, this is like perfect pacing, perfect idea that kind of just unfolded into this perfectly simple film. So
Yeah, man. I think like the word that I hear a lot when Coen Brothers comes on is like absurdism, and this movie is like exactly that. Like
Yeah.
just like
So like
inept
also
and incompetent people like trying. Yeah, I don't know. It was
why I'm like curious about that is because like at the beginning it said this was based on a true story, right?
Mhm.
It's a
story.
lie.
Is
It's a
that a lie?
story.
It's
It's a
just a
lie.
story. It's a lie.
It's just straight up. Like,
It's
not
got like
true.
pieces. I think it's like based off of the crime, but it's like
No,
none of
it's this is a question I have actually, and it's like, is it okay to basically just lie to the audience about it? This is the true story because it's not.
It's,
It's not at all.
them.
it's not a true story, but I
That was
think
like
the
the
fact
first
that they're
note I wrote
saying
down, but you know, because
this
I
is a
question
true,
everything now.
Right.
I mean, it is a story, so that's
Well,
true.
everything's a story. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
I went
This
to
is
the
a
fucking
true
store, and that's a
story.
story. Yeah. Like,
Exactly. It's a
but I
true
didn't go to the
story.
store, and I just lied to you. How do you feel? Do you feel betrayed, don't you? Because you
I
thought I
think
went to
that
the
was
store.
Yeah, fuck
that
you,
was a
man. I
pretty
feel
it was a
betrayed.
bad story,
Yeah,
but
I didn't get anything. It is
Yeah,
a terrible
not
story.
actually based on a true
But
story,
no.
but a
No.
fictional crime drama inspired by the night. Wait.
It's inspired by a
Oh,
real
this was the
murder
TV.
case.
Never
Is
mind.
it really?
I
That's
just
that's
Googled some
what
shit.
the wood chipper scene was inspired by a real murder case.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've
Okay.
found. Because I googled
I mean,
it
I could see
yesterday
that
and I was
because
looking
like
at
that's
it,
like
and yeah,
fucking wild, you know. I
That is a
mean,
pretty
and that
wild
is like
detail.
what it's kind of, you know, the like culmination of the weird shit that happens in the movie, like when she just comes up and you know the fucking.
Why is he even doing it in the first place?
That
Like,
dude is just like unhinged. He's just evil.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
but he's like, is it to get rid of the evidence or something? Like,
You're
there's no
splattering
reason.
so,
DNA
like,
everywhere.
but like not really. Like, yeah,
No, it's
'cause,
terrible.
Like, it's all over. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just
like regardless
like-
of who it was, they committed a murder. Like,
yeah, right. It's like clear. There's even more evidence now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder because there's people that don't like know and they don't read and they see that this is like a true story and like now their life is completely like
Mhm.
it's like they think a fantasy. I don't know, but then I go.
What are you trying to say, Matt? You demeaning me because I thought that this was based on a true story?
You're living in a fantasy world, is all I'm saying, man.
Like,
Look, man, I
Joe.
didn't take the 2 seconds to look it up, so.
Well, no,
I
I'm just
guess
like, but that's what I'm
on
saying.
me.
Is like, is it irresponsible? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because it's
No.
like
I'm gonna
portraying
fucking
something.
sue.
You might win.
I don't
I
think
mean,
it's irresponsible.
I don't think it. Yeah, I
No.
don't think it is either. At a certain point, it's like
I think it's
on the
fine,
viewer.
but it's just like,
Yeah.
why though?
Well, to me, the strength of it is like this feels like reality. This feels like a lived-in
Yeah.
story
I don't know.
that is
you're
like I
totally
should be
right.
actually thinking about how.
And like, I
it
guess
is.
like,
Picture bad criminals.
like I saw like a. I don't know. I think any movie nowadays that is based on a true story, I'm kind of not down for, unless it's a really compelling story. But like I don't know, like the first one that popped in my head coming out, I saw a trailer for some Mark Wahlberg movie where he's I don't know running a fucking triathlon,
With a dog.
decathlon or whatever, and
Yeah,
a dog is
What?
there, and I'm just like I don't know, like do I care? Like it'll probably be heartwarming, I guess, but like I don't know. So I guess it's just like this movie by saying it's based on a true story, I feel like demeans other movies like that, like that
Yeah.
other one, dog.
Now I'm not gonna believe that dog ran that marathon. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't believe that dog ran that marathon.
I
I'm sure
don't
that dog like
either.
showed up and he like carried that dog.
Also, I
but
don't think it was a marathon. I think it was like, well,
Like-
fuck, I
like
don't know
he
what it
was
was. It
swimming
was
and
some
shit?
kind of race. Sure, it was a
Yeah.
marathon.
triathlon?
They were like swimming and canoeing and shit.
Biking?
It was like across like some I don't know Latin American country, like or some island
Well,
country.
now
I
I'm
don't.
interested.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It was. Well, what? I don't know.
Well, okay. I guess like it falls in the vein of like Blair Witch Project almost, where it's like you got the audience.
That was based
you
on a
know?
true story, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
100%.
Just let them live in the fantasy world, guys. So I don't know. It's like
Those not going
they
on any hikes.
it's like they're pulling a little magic trick on you almost with this one, or it's like it's just like a little mental trickery that they pull on you with this movie, with like
Couldn't
Blair
this-
Witch did.
Couldn't this fall in the same vein as like Inglorious Bastards? Why did Tarantino spell bastards that way? Because he fucking wanted to.
Yeah, I've always
He
wondered
doesn't
that
have to
It's
too,
just
explain
like-
it.
but I've never taken the 2 seconds to look it up.
Well,
But
that's
I
what
guess
he says. He
if-
never says why he spells it that way. He just wanted to.
But if Tarantino was like, "This is a true story," and then the movie Inglorious
Inglourious
Bastards played after it, like I
That'd
don't
be
know.
fucking hilarious, actually.
yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Like, so Hitler was
Yeah,
actually
that's
killed
a-
in the fucking theater? Like, oh my
Okay,
God.
then
That's
in
how
that
World War
same
II
vein, what you said earlier is this feels like it could be a true story. Hitler getting
It does, yeah.
demolished with
Inglorious
600
Bastards, yeah.
rounds of.
I know that wasn't a true story.
Hey man,
like-
we don't know what actually happened.
Amazing. I
It's
just I would
fair.
love
But
to
like
just
this could, like I could see this kind of being, a
Right.
true story. Like,
Right.
right, yeah.
And they definitely like place it there to like make it feel that way too. But they have enough of the zaniness
dude.
to like
Also, like,
make it the
do
most
you
wild
guys
true story you've
know-
ever heard.
Where did the Coen brothers like grow up? Did they grow up in the Midwest?
I wish I knew. I want to say they
It's like,
did. Yeah, do
I
it for
feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of their
They
movies
had to
just
have.
have like weird
Yeah.
Midwest like roots.
So
So
the
like
opening shot
I
for
just
this
feel
movie
like
is
there's no way they couldn't have like.
empty fucking road, carving
Yeah.
code down empty road. Like
Yeah.
it's
Dead
just,
winter.
that's their spot, man.
When
love
when
it.
that guy was telling the story about the lake, and he's like, I figured I'd call it in, and
So I
it was
called it
just
in.
like, it was like, yep, this is the Midwest. Like they
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah, that scene's
They
so
were born
fucking
in
good.
Minnesota.
Hell
There
yeah,
you
okay.
go. This is their hometown, then. It's their home state. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, what did you feel about it, Matt? I mean, the true story is all we've heard from you. Do you
Yeah,
like the movie?
That
Do
was,
you hate the
that was an
movie?
aside. So I kind of know what you mean, Joe, because when I first watched this movie a while ago, I was just like, yeah, that's fine, that's good, And I watched it again. I want to say like 4 to 5 years ago, and I was like, pretty good movie. And then now that we're in this dive, I'm looking at all the Coen brothers movies. I'm picturing the whole catalog, and just by pure enjoyment, I fucking loved it. It's easily a 4.5 movie. I'm
Absolutely.
really debating if this is a 5-star movie.
I had it at 5 and I dropped it down to 4.5 because I was like,
I still
After
haven't
this
figured it
one,
out
other
yet.
stuff. I'm like,
I've got it
Yeah,
at
after
4.
this watch through, I'm thinking it might be 5. Like when I was sitting there after and letting it fester with me, I'm like, should I bump this up to 5? Is it at that
Yeah.
caliber? Because it's just so perfectly
Pace
paced,
is
and
insane.
yeah.
The movie moves
incredible.
so fast.
they
it's
even
only an
had
hour and a half,
time
but
to throw in an aside with Francis McDormand meeting with that weirdo
yeah.
in the city, and you don't
Yeah.
even feel it. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
that belongs, because
I actually
they
wrote
made
that.
the
I was like,
connection
is
with him
this
on the
the-
phone.
That's true. Yeah, and that
So-
I,
Yeah, that
I
was
wrote that
weird.
as like maybe the only scene that doesn't feel like it should be there. But
Yeah, I kind of like thought like after because I don't know if I was necessarily like paying attention at that point. I'm like, what the fuck is going
What
on
is
here?
happening? Yeah.
Because it wasn't really relevant to anything like
Mm.
going on. I'm like, what
So
the
it
fuck is
took
this?
you out enough to bring you back in, is what you're
Hey,
Sure,
saying.
yeah, it did.
It kept your interest. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like almost the funniest scene in the movie too.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
When
the
he
way
sits
that she
next to her,
handles that.
is this
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope. I prefer you over there, actually.
Fucking breaks down.
And then it like leads right into Steve Buscemi at a bar too with like a chick, and it's like
Yeah.
to me, the way I justified those scenes and that one especially was like obviously it's like a character scene for Frances McDormand. You kind of really get to know like her life outside of whatever, but like um yeah, I don't know. I just lost my train of thought immediately after I said that, but
Fuck, dude.
I'd love to hop on it again.
Yeah, you had me on the edge of my seat, man.
Now it's a 4.5 star movie, man. Now that I can't fucking come it now. I don't even know. Yeah, take it away. Take it away.
I brought this movie up at work today because I was like, have you guys seen Fargo? We're watching Coen Brothers and stuff like that. And it made me feel good that like a 19-year-old kid that I work with had seen this movie. And I was like, yeah, this is a great movie.
It's
Specifically,
transcending.
yeah, he was like, it's goofy, the funny looking guy. That line or something.
Yeah, he's
on,
funny
I was like,
looking.
that's good. Like Steve Buscemi is the fucking epitome of a goofy
Kind
looking
of funny looking.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you? How, can you be more specific?
He really is.
In a general kind of way.
I think it was like before. I don't know. Maybe it was after, but it's like where they're in the car. It might be like right before they get picked up by the cop. And I'm just like looking at him. He's complaining about how the other guy hasn't said anything in like 4 fucking hours. And I'm like, damn, Steve Buscemi is a weird looking guy.
So interesting. You know. Like,
yeah.
yeah. That scene with the cop is a fantastic scene. I mean, just
Yeah,
like
true.
Peter Stormare's
I
presence
had
in this
no
movie
idea
is
like what
insane.
the fuck was where that was going. Where
Yeah.
I had no idea that would happen. Like,
Right. Yeah. And just like the look on Peter Stormare's face in the moment when he realizes that he's gonna like have to do this right now, like because Steve Buscemi's such an idiot or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's just a good dynamic between the two. But that scene especially. I mean, that's when you think Fargo too. You think of that scene. I feel like where it's like the miscommunication on the road with the cop and the people running away and then shooting them down, and you know.
Definitely. And like you always, even in this TV show, you always have the two,
You have
the
that
big
moment.
bad silent type and the one who talks, does all the fast talking. And yeah, I also like what's that guy's name? The big guy?
Peter Stormare.
Yeah. His character was fucking,
It's great.
first off, insane, but awesome. Like he's just eating, watching a soap opera, and Steve Buscemi comes back. He's like, "What happened to her?" And she's like, "She was squealing." So I was like, "My God!"
well, I love how
Fucking-
like he's actually like in it for the emotional like
Yeah, he's, like,
response of what he's
invested.
watching too. It's like
Yeah.
so staticky, like he can barely tell what's going on. And she's like,
But he's
"I'm
so-
pregnant," and then he like doesn't even react when Steve Buscemi comes in all fucking bloody. Like it's like it's just normal shit.
He's been in
like,
that cabin for so long that he's like actually loving it. But I felt a lot of Anton Chigurh in
Yeah.
Stormare too. So later
Definitely.
for No Country for Old Men, that like
True. Yeah.
that depraved of a serial killer or whatever is like
Yeah.
kind of connected to this one, I'd say.
Damn, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, great. I'm glad. I mean, I've seen this like 3 or 4 times, but for some reason this watch through, it really made me opened up a new light for me. So really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Right on.
So
it's-
I don't know why this just popped in my head. Doesn't really have anything to do with Fargo. It has to do with Barton Fink. We didn't talk about it when we talked about Barton Fink. Just Steve Buscemi coming out of the floor when he shows up at the hotel. Instantly, I'm just like, why the fuck is Steve Buscemi in a fucking hole in this hotel? We didn't talk about it on there, but I'm like, that kind of like, I don't know, feeds into my theory or the theories about it being fucking like hell or some shit, or like John Goodman being the devil. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
that
just thought it
fits
was
more.
weird. Sorry, we can go back
Is,
to Fargo.
is
though. I just
Steve
wanted to talk
Buscemi
about
like
that.
the biggest Coen collaborator? Or is it John Goodman?
I think it's John Goodman followed by Steve Buscemi.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
then,
got to be pretty
is
close.
it John Turturro is the other guy too? He's in a
Yeah.
lot too.
Ah, he's in a lot.
True.
I wonder. I got to do the math. Alex,
I
you want to
know.
make
We
a
can
chart?
look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got? Hey, I
Charts?
showed you my wicked charts.
Yeah.
Um, but what was I gonna say? Oh, I like how like Steve
Well,
Buscemi doesn't shut the fuck up in this movie. In our next one, Big Lebowski, Donnie shut the fuck up is
Yeah.
yeah. The reason
Way
they wrote
different
that
character.
character
Yeah.
was because of this one. It's just fun.
That's
also,
your element.
like talking about John Goodman, I think he was like, was he narrator in the Hudsucker Proxy?
Yeah. He pops in for like a little
It's
bit.
like, yeah, I could swear. I don't know. I couldn't remember like which one it was, but yeah, like I could swear it was like his voice.
He's
but I didn't
like
really look
they're
it
like
up.
running an ad or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like the advertiser voice or some shit. But
Okay.
and then Buscemi's in Hudsucker for like a tiny role too, at the like close to the end or something like that.
Yeah, the bartender, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Maybe
for Fargo,
yeah, they might be tied then. Buscemi and
it's
Goodman.
close. It's gotta be
Yeah.
close. Yeah. But Fargo for sure, like especially watching like the first 5 or whatever films in a row and then getting to this one, it's just like you can tell that this is like where they've fully harnessed their powers of like everything, you know, and like super whatever those ultimate Super Saiyan level is nowadays. That's what they've reached.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Not
Yeah, times
Okay.
100.
They can just be
Like,
Super
okay.
Saiyan, right?
There we go. The
Yeah.
hair's gold.
It's classic, you know. Yeah.
They're in the cold. But just
They
great
got
script,
more.
great actors. Like the setting obviously does a lot for this movie. So like just their attempt at, because like honestly, I don't even know if like the White Wonderland has been like done before this in like the way that they did this movie, you know, like or the way like visually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
And
been
it's
done
just so
like that.
simple too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just
What?
sitting there capturing what's happening in the moment. You
Yeah.
know?
I was gonna like the scene that comes to mind for me is like when William H Macy is like walking out through the parking lot, like in the tire tracks or whatever.
Yeah.
You watch him walk almost the whole way through his car.
Yeah.
It's like
Same with-
visually striking but simple. Like
Yeah.
it's-
For sure.
Yeah, that reminded me a lot of that scene in Blood Simple from the guy when he's burying the body in the cornfield.
Yeah.
And it's
The
like
tracks.
at night, yeah, you're
That's
like
true.
you can't see shit, and then like yeah, when it comes to day, you can like clearly see the tracks.
It's
and
like a
he just
very
fucking
reminiscent
drives out of
shot.
the field.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Same
make
with,
that connection at the time though. I
yeah.
just thought of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Same with like Steve Buscemi when he buries the money. Like just you watch him go all the way to the road back, and like
Yeah.
it's like what you were
He,
saying
like,
earlier. It's like
trips.
yeah, just like staying with the character really. I don't know. It makes it real. It makes it like they don't just like get out of the frame and then the
Right.
image ends. It's like they had to
Cut
get
back
back
to
to
the
the fucking
car,
car.
into the
Yeah.
car. Yeah,
And you
yeah.
got to see it. Yeah. Also, the end of this movie felt like No Country for Old Men with Frances McDormand's little like I just don't
Yeah,
get it. I
Marge
just don't
and-
understand it.
Yeah.
Great line.
Yeah.
But it's like Tommy Lee Jones he doesn't really get it anymore or whatever at the end of that movie. So
Yeah.
I think, well, this one to me is like an extension of Blood Simple almost for their
That's
skill
what it
set.
kind of feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for like No Country and even Big Lebowski a little bit, like those other ones, it's like they're extending off of this one now, kind of. It's like they've found the avenue now, you know.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna watch Big Lebowski and then just for some like the zaniness of that film.
It's up
is
next,
gonna-
right?
Is it
Yeah,
it
is?
is.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking that one's gonna be a 5-star for me now, but we'll see.
Same,
Honestly, I was
same.
thinking the same thing this week. I'm like, I think the Big Lebowski's gonna make a comeback here. I mean, it's already
Right.
at 4.5 for me, so.
Mm.
it
I'll
won't
tell
take
you
much,
guys
but-
about. I don't think I've mentioned it before, but there's like a religion based on
the
Big
Dudism?
Lebowski. Yeah, it's called Dudism.
Uh,
My dad is a Dudist
dude?
priest. Yeah,
Dudist
Awesome.
priest.
I don't know. There's some day in March that's like their holiest day or something, and he's gonna
Do
have a
they-
party
Bring
this
the
Do
year.
vibes,
they drink
man.
White Russians on that
Yeah.
day or
Yeah.
something? Or,
He has pictures of White Russians, and I'm just like, this is too much.
That's a bit much. Especially if it's a Dudist priest. That to me that feels like they're mixing too many like
It's weird. It's weird.
isn't that a
And like
band?
all of his friends are in it too. I don't know. We'll get to it next week.
Talk about cults next.
I
week.
respect it though as far as like a religion.
He'll hook you
I
in for
guess.
next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy's
I'll tell you more
philosophy.
about it.
Let's have your dad on next week to really dive into
We
that.
could,
What
yeah.
ritual? Do they have a ritual where someone comes in and pisses on their rug and then they go on a
Yeah.
journey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of their like code of conduct.
That's what kicks it off, right? I
yeah,
mean,
right.
Really
Another
ties the
journey.
room together.
Is that a mark? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't really have much. I mean, the end that I don't understand it end. I really love that ending. But also just the heartfelt, like sitting in the bed ending, the true ending, where he's like
Yeah.
talking about stamps and how like that we need the small ones, or when people don't have these, their new one, they need to get the new ones when their old ones run out or whatever.
Yeah.
To me, I was like, obviously, it's just like a heartfelt scene for both of them, but is it the Coens? Because at the end of every movie, I like every filmmaker to kind of just like tell me how they feel about what they just did, almost, like,
Yeah.
or how the movie was, or what it was. And it's like them almost saying like this new, fresh story that they just made has to be done when the old ones don't work anymore, or like,
Yeah.
I don't know, something along those lines of like them kind of patting
Tubot's still having
themselves.
the kid and
Yeah.
yeah.
Like there's still work to do or whatever, but I don't know. Or it's just like the small people need stories too. Like, because this is a very small,
Yeah.
if you think
Yeah.
about who these people are, they're very like,
Small town. Even
Small
yeah,
people,
even
yeah.
that relationship between Margie and her husband is like
Well, that's how the guy heard about her. Like she was on the news, and it's just like this small town cop. I mean, the guy in
Yeah.
Twin Cities
The
heard
one that
about her,
called her.
so that's why he called her. So
that's what
yeah,
like that, to me that rang almost as like they it's like the friend I don't know, at this point Coen's are this is the movie that probably like made them more Hollywood or whatever. And I'm like thinking like, damn, did they get a call from like friends who are like, hey, saw your movie? It's like, dude, I haven't talked to you in a decade. It's like, where is this coming
sure, right?
from?
Yeah.
Like to me, I was like, there's something ingrained in this a little bit, I think. But
Yeah.
Also, Marge's character is kind of badass. I mean, obviously she's the smartest character in the whole movie, but like the fact that she's pregnant walking into this guy wood chipping the fuck out of these people,
Yeah.
and she's just like police.
yeah,
I don't know. It's
That's
kind of
so
just
fucking
awesome.
good. Yeah. She is a great character in general. Yeah. In the
Well, Liv,
Coen
I'm gonna have
universe
to
too.
question your police work there.
Yeah, it's great how she just immediately like lays down exactly what happened at the scene when she gets
Yeah.
there. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, so it looks like this happened, and then like
recounts it.
I love how
completely.
she's like there's 2 bullet wounds, one in the hand and one in the head. I guess it's a defensive wound.
she's like, putting it together right there. Good stuff. I'm
Shit.
very
Yeah.
tempted to give it a 5-star, honestly, because I mean it's definitely better than Blood Simple, and I love Blood Simple, and that was a 4.5 for me. So like,
That's what. Yeah,
just
that's
by
what
math,
after
right?
us.
It has to check out.
Especially after I have nothing to complain about it. Like I don't even
That's
know
the
why I
thing,
have it
yeah.
still at a 4.5. So,
Yeah.
what's justifying the 4.5?
I dropped it down simply because I was like, Big Lebowski coming up, love Buster Scruggs, like where.
Yeah, which one?
I
How
can't
does
have,
this
I can't
one
have that many
stack up?
5-star movies. Like, yeah, I can't. But I'm just like,
Yeah, you can. You're allowed.
yeah.
I was
You're
actually just
not.
thinking about this.
You're not
'cause-
allowed.
Yeah,
There's a
how many
limit.
5 stars can filmmakers have? Because I
Look,
just finished
if
Another
you
Bad,
have,
Yeah.
and I only gave like 1 5-star, and it kind of like trickles down.
Well, with
Do I just
Tarantino, I
do that
have
with
like
every
7
filmmaker?
5-stars. So
Yeah, I do have 2 5-stars for Tarantino and 2 for PTA. Maybe 2 or 3 is the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
But
I'd have to go
if
back.
I guess if a filmmaker just I mean, Tarantino's an argument for that, I'd say. But if it's like undeniable banger after banger, and it's just like,
Right.
I'd give him 5 stars.
I feel like Fargo was, the start of that. So
Yeah, could be.
we'll
yeah,
see.
the only 5-star movie I have for the Coens is No Country, though. That's where I was like,
Same.
is Fargo at that same caliber? Because No
Yeah.
Country's like my 3rd favorite movie of all time. So
See, I
one
thought
of the
about that
movies
with
I've
True
seen the
Grit.
most in my
Fargo,
I
life.
think I like
Change
underrated
up
True
the-
Grit.
I don't know. You're 3. If Fargo was like as good as No Country for Old Men.
That's the thing. I don't think it's as good, but it's like it's still a perfect movie. Like that's where I keep landing. It's like I have no complaints. It's so well written and well executed. So
Yeah.
oh
Yes.
It does deserve
strange
it.
place.
Yeah.
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 I'm glad we got to it. It was definitely one of the biggest ones coming so far. So we're in the midpoint for Cohen's and looking like some good days ahead.
I was gonna ask you, are we watching The Man Who Wasn't There and Intolerable Cruelty?
Those are like I only haven't seen 3 movies now by them, and those are 2 of them. So I'm gonna watch. I
Okay, I didn't.
mean, they are technically Coen brother movies.
Okay, because I
When
didn't know if they were both like they were considered
I think so.
because it only has Joel Cohen as director.
when did
Is
they come out? Like when would they come up in our order? Or would they have already came out?
no,
They're
it's
after-
still to come. It's
Yeah.
after Oh Brother, I think.
Yeah.
Would you want to
2000s.
just throw them in for that week, either in place of the movie chest, or we could just throw them in whatever
We
week
can do
that,
another double
they come
dive
up.
like we just did. I
Okay,
don't
I'm
care.
cool with that.
In place of the movie chest or just add it on. Doesn't matter to me.
Oh,
Those are
shit.
definitely some of the lesser knowns. of
Yeah, we
Coen's.
didn't. We didn't pick our movie chest picks either. If you wanted to do that, we could.
I
either
got
do it-
mine
I
locked
don't
and
know.
loaded.
I think I do too.
Yep, I'm ready to go.
If I looked, I think I did. Yeah.
What are we putting in the text?
Check.
Sure,
Yep.
if you want.
Oh yeah, I did pick mine.
This was a pretty bountiful group here. Felt like.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Me too. In the chamber.
Yes.
You ready?
Fire.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh.
Dude, I knew you were gonna pick Days of Thunder.
Hell
Just
yeah.
for the cruise, man. Which
That's like
that
one
was
of the
my
only
I
cruise
almost picked that one.
movies.
That you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I haven't
Have you seen The
it.
Color of Money?
No, that's one of the other ones, and that's a
Yeah.
Scorsese movie I haven't seen either.
Yeah.
So,
sorry.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
I
One
guess so.
flew
You guys-
over.
have you guys never seen that?
I haven't.
Oh my god, you didn't watch it in school, Matt?
I didn't
We
have
watched
to.
it in
No,
fucking-
I didn't watch it in that class.
Oh my
no.
god,
Hear good things.
Why is it you not like it?
it's fine. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk more. We'll talk more. about
Okay.
it. The real deal.
And we're just sticking with Mondays, right? Same time. I didn't know, like after
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
talking
Monday's
about. I guess.
fine. I just
It's up
I
to
had
you
a bad
guys.
Monday. I'm good with it.
Same.
I can make it work. It's really just about whatever whatever we can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I can keep doing
Monday
this.
usually work out. For like I said, it was just a weirdly busy one this week, and then tonight was not. So it's just varies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of just worked out that we had another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, same week. So
Good meetup.
You guys want to talk about any other things or anything you've been watching, or you just want to sign off?
I don't really
haven't
have a
really been
lot.
watching anything. Yeah.
I haven't either.
Probably take my
Lame.
boy for a walk.
Fucking lame. Yeah,
Fuck you, man. I've been reading instead.
Oh,
all right?
I've been reading books.
And
That's what,
I don't know. I've been doing drum
Nerd.
stuff, kind of. Yeah, I've been reading fucking books, man. Fuck you.
I can't read anymore, so I just watch movies.
Yeah. Well, you can't
No, like
see.
I can't read. I don't know how to read
I was
anymore.
gonna say it became a.
Oh
little
shit.
bit-
Okay. That's probably
It's been too long.
not great. I was thinking about this like a couple days ago. Isn't it fucked up how probably 100 to 200 years ago, there were the majority of people didn't know how to fucking read, 200 years ago.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
had that thought where it's like if someone was illiterate nowadays, the amount of just visual stuff needed to navigate and live. How?
It's wild.
Yeah, you could not.
There's
could not.
got to be people that are living like that, right?
That's what I know. I'm thinking of that. I'm like, how? What
Yeah.
do you do?
You know what else is wild?
Yes.
That
You're about to go into
Dude,
the
do you see that
fucking
thing
pit
behind
of
you?
darkness. Like, what is it?
it's wild that you don't teach you can't teach laughter to children. They just start laughing one day, the kids giggle. Just
Damn.
inherent. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's
Part
just
of
a
that kind of seems
natural-
With your-
creepy.
Were your
I
kids
don't know why.
giggling?
I think
Is
that
that
the
what brought
crying
that up?
too.
some
like-
aspect of that seems creepy. I don't know why.
I guess
I guess
crying's a
it-
more natural instinct, though, right?
Yeah.
Because it's pain related.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's
like
His laughter
like with
too.
our latest
me.
kid. Sarah doesn't breastfeed, but anybody holds the baby like this, he thinks he's about to eat, just because it's like inherent his natural
Yeah, the
like
instinct.
titty, you know.
I
And
get
I don't
it.
know. She was like, "Why does he do that?" I'm like, "Because it's natural." It's just like, why did Elliot start laughing? He just thought something was funny one day, and it was natural. It's just crazy.
That is.
That's cool,
That's
man.
cool.
I watched a video of like this dad. It was like a video. It was like when you're worried you're leaving dad home to watch the kids, and the dad's like full boxing, punching the baby, and like winds up, punches the baby, and like bounces him to the end of the bed, and the baby's just like giggling the whole time. I was like, damn,
It's like what does
that's
it
awesome.
know? What is it like experiencing? You know,
It's
in that-
experiencing power. Like it's like I can beat up my dad. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I guess like we got to get really philosophical about like what is comedy? You know, like why do people laugh really? Because like if you're winding up and you like hee joke, it's like you thought the pain was coming, and then it didn't, and then like the relief, haha.
Subversion, yeah.
Is everything pain related? That's my theory. But
Tragedy and what?
the
What's
avoidance of pain,
yeah. I'm
right?
trying to think. There's that Shakespeare where it's like the masks, like laugh,
Tragedy
like
and comedy.
and tragedy, or
Yeah.
two sides of the same coin.
Two sides.
Yeah.
Interlinked.
It all comes back to Shakespeare, man. It all comes. End of the day, motherfucker.
Everybody's just redoing Shakespeare shit. Yeah, but speaking of, thanks for listening to this highly original podcast. Again for another week.
What are you trying to say?
There's nothing
I
like
mean,
We're
it, is
not
what we're
highly
saying.
original?
No, it was a jab at how everybody's redoing Shakespeare. You know,
I
I'm
mean,
just
we're
redoing
not-
like the
we're not
Is this a
podcast.
true story?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Space.
I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out next
We're
week.
just rambling about not stuff that's totally made. Well, I guess they all were made up, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, but if it's online, it's based on a real.
It's
story.
real to me,
True.
damn it.
yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Alex is about to get eaten by some type of creature, but
Yeah.
hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yes.
Thanks for
I will.
listening.